Hi, this is Maria Mandarino. Thank you for being here today. I'm here today with Julie Jacobs of Windhorse Counseling. Today we're going to talk about type 3 and how they deal with narcissists. So before we begin, Julie, tell us a little bit about yourself and your practice.
Sure. My name is Julie. I have Windhorse Counseling here in Chandler, Arizona. Um, the name of my practice is called Windhorse because in the Eastern traditions, the Windhorse helps carry people until they can carry themselves. So that's what I'm here to do is help people until they can do it on their own. I work with a lot of different modalities, lots of different kinds of people. I love my job, and I love the people that I work with. And if you would like to reach out and connect, you can do so by email, by phone, by text, and I know you'll have the links in the show notes and all
Yeah.
of that good stuff.
Mhm.
So
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
We'll have that in there. And before we jump into type 3, just let people know when they should know to get help versus, is it, a small enough problem that they may be able to navigate some of it? Like what would you tell people as far as safety?
Well, whenever it feels dangerous or, have some good friends who can call you on your stuff and let you know that like, whoa, this feels like it's crossing a line. Narcissists are real good at isolating people.
Mhm.
So if you're feeling real isolated and you don't have someone to talk to, that's a great time to reach out.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the I guess, skills of a narcissist.
Yeah.
They like to isolate people. So if you're finding yourself isolated and lonely, you don't have a tribe, you don't have a support system, please reach out to somebody for help, whether it's somebody who was in your support system, a family member, or a professional that you can trust. Um,
Yeah.
get some objective feedback
Yeah.
and go from there. And whenever you're afraid, by all means, stay away.
Mhm.
Do what you can to not engage with people who are making you feel unsafe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trust your gut, right?
Yeah. Totally.
Uh-huh.
All righty. So thank you for that. Um, so the way we're going to go at this, or the way I kind of tackle things that feel like challenges, is if you feel like you're losing your energy, um, first of all, we want to find ways to stop that within your Enneagram type. Where do you have the strengths, and where are your weaknesses, where your energy can be lost, and how can we get some of that back? Losing your energy always has to do with your shadow, so we'll be looking at some of that, and getting your power back always has to do with connecting to your higher self. So that's the aim of the Enneagram. Um, so type 3, I'm going to go over to screen share to kind of look at the focus of type 3. And here, and move this here. Okay. So focus of type 3. First of all, type 3 is the performer, the achiever. They want to be recognized for their achievements. Dressing for success is a thing for 3. Winning at whatever they do, succeeding, that's super important to them. They are performance oriented. They are the type in the Enneagram that if they have nothing prepared and somebody doesn't show up and you say, hey, can you just go on and do this for us? They'll say, yeah, sure. They don't even think about it. They can ad lib really well because they are performance oriented. And if they can get up there and do this with no script, that kind of thing, and they ace it, it's like that's winning. That's like nothing but net for a 3. In fact, most 3s that I know all use basketball references too, so that's kind of funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and they believe that it's important to impress others through appearance and or achievement. I would say both are up there for them. You can't just achieve and not look the part. You got to look the part too. And if you don't have all the pieces to make it work, looking the part matters because that's how you can kind of get around it. And I should qualify, that's kind of a low 3 energy. So it's that fake it till you make it kind of thing. Low 3s do that really well.
I've seen there the people who are all about the smoke and the mirrors
Oh
and
yeah.
Don't look at this real problem. Here's this shit over
Yeah,
here.
totally.
Oh,
Yep.
someone's coming to mind.
um, so they to be sought out, they or to be known, they want to be respected for what they do. So if they're known for anything, it's not who they are, it's what they do that they hope to be known for. They like keeping busy and being active. They're not the introverts on the Enneagram. They require positive feedback and that confirmation that they're doing something well, they're doing it right, and that they have value. They love competition. Competition to them is a good time. They're always thinking about the next project because the next project is what can I win at? So forward thinking. Very hard to reel them into the moment. They find it difficult to rest and difficult to take time off because that would mean they're slacking. And if they're slacking, how are they going to achieve? They seek status and prestige. Again, that gets with that dress to impress kind of thing. And they will avoid failure at all costs. This is probably the most important thing in identifying a 3. Avoid failure at all costs because failure is to be feared as much as death. Because their whole identity is in achieving and succeeding. So, I want to mention, let me just hop off of the screen share a minute. Okay, so I want to mention with all of that, places where the 3 can lose their energy is if their sense of self is only grounded in their work or their achievements. So that's dangerous ground if you've got a narcissist in your world. It's a place for them to slip in. Yeah.
And keep you trapped there.
Yeah. Because it's to me, it seems easy that the narcissist could say, well, that thing that you're doing isn't all that. You might look real nice, but that little thing that you didn't know about, you maybe kind of missed, and you just kind of flubbed over it. No one else noticed. I noticed.
Yeah.
Right. So I could imagine them doing that. So what else might come out of
that's exactly what I see. And the sort of the undermining and making you second guess your confidence and second guess your strengths, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, I could do what you do, but I'm not willing to jump through the hoops. I'm certainly qualified.
Yeah. And head games for 3s. Oh God, they
challenge to be accepted.
yeah, well, there's that, and it's such an because they're constantly like utilizing that energy to keep going, to keep because deceit is the low side of the 3, right? So the energy that it takes to fool people, and then ultimately the lowest 3 is fooling themselves. So that's a lot of energy. Then you've got the narcissist coming in and messing with your head. And it's like another tab just opened for the 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say energetically, that's some dangerous stuff.
And I bet it's hard for a 3 to walk away, because then that would imply either quitting or resting, right? And that's not in their wheelhouse. We're losing.
Yeah.
So they have to keep on.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what the narcissist
wants.
Let me keep you engaged.
Yeah, it's like a never-ending circus. And their need for validation and recognition. I joke about type 3s, and I don't know if he was a type 3, but if you remember Mayor Ed Koch from New York, back in the 80s, I think, one of his favorite phrases was, "So how am I doing? So how am I doing? Am I doing okay? How am I doing?" So that's kind of very 3-ish, right? So if you got a 3 that's constantly, like Mayor Koch, how am I doing? What's the narcissist going to do with that?
Well, could be better.
Yeah.
said the
Yeah.
narcissist.
Yeah. Yeah. And total deflation from that. I mean,
Uh-huh.
there's just nothing that could hurt them again. That's failure, right? It could be better. Well, if it's not the best, I'm failing. That's like right up there with, oh my God, I can't breathe. I'm gonna die. So yeah. Yeah. So the other thing is, if you're in a low 3, and we all do highs and lows. So, being in a low 3 doesn't mean you're, you know, we all do it.
Mhm.
Um, So if and when you're in your low side and you're doing the deceit thing, which has to do with image, which has to do with how you're presenting that image to everyone else, and at the lowest form, it's how you're deceiving people into thinking you've got the goods, right? And then lower than that is you're deceiving yourself into thinking that what you do is who you are. There's nothing else to you but you're doing. And your work identity, your just the whole identity that you extract from performing, whatever performing is in your world. On some level, I think the 3 knows that there's a deceit game, but they put the extra energy into putting up the front. So there's a crack in that. There's the potential for a crack in that. And when anybody catches on to the fact that the 3 is faking it, even marginally, that's dangerous to a 3, even if it's someone who loves them, right? And just says, hey, like, what are you doing? I know I know you don't have this, and I love you, and I care about you. Let's fix this, right? Well, the narcissist isn't going to do the I love you, let's fix this.
No.
So that opportunity that deceit has for the 3, um, I don't know, how manipulative do you think that could look?
Well, I think it could be really manipulative, right? Because if we tap into someone's not only weakness, but the biggest struggle for self-esteem,
Mhm.
we're challenging what you believe to be true about yourself,
Yeah.
and also telling you that, like you had said earlier, you're not all that,
Mm.
and you're likely not ever going to be all that.
Mhm. Mm.
And maybe nobody else will tell you, but I will, because I care so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, so much.
Mhm. Mm.
Like, oh, I could be better. What do I need to do?
What to do? Yeah.
What do I do? Right.
Mhm. Yep.
Um, I definitely see a low 3 needing to really focus on self-esteem and self-care.
Mhm.
Um, but mostly the self-esteem, and be
Yeah.
careful not to identify yourself only by what you do.
Yeah. That is it for the 3.
Uh-huh.
That you can just be loved for being here. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not, we don't give a damn what they do.
Uh-huh.
That is so hard for them to accept.
Mhm.
And I think on some level that has to do with the fear of betrayal, because an identity, a well-crafted identity that's based on nothing but image, can't betray. I mean, it can betray you, does betray them in the end, but you're not vulnerable if you have crafted that image really well. If you've crafted it to the degree that you've made armor out of it,
Mhm.
um, that identity is a thing. It's not a person.
Yeah.
So it can't hurt you the way, opening yourself up to, you could actually love me for just being me and not having that armor of my image all coming first before I show you who I am. You'd actually love me just for being me. That's really the 3 under the image.
And that's terrifying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you can,
Mhm.
and so I'm not willing to show you that.
Yeah. Because what if I
Um,
fail? What if I,
what if I
yeah.
fail? And
Mhm.
then you prove me right,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Yeah.
oh, it's on the tip of my tongue and then I keep losing it. There it is. Authenticity,
Yeah.
right? So then a
Yeah.
3 is not being authentic.
Totally. Yeah.
And if that narcissist can see that,
Yep.
and because
Mm-hmm.
they're right on that,
Yeah.
right? And then that's now I failed because I didn't hide my inauthenticity well enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a
And
lot of
they
traps
know I'm a
there.
fraud. They know
Yeah,
that I'm deceiving people. Yeah.
there's a lot of traps there. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
for the 3, it's not as much about how do you, maybe, how do you handle the narcissist? It's more about how do you get to your high side? How do you get to
Mm.
your strengths? Because when you're there, you're not touchable by them,
Right.
right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
how do we get to our high side?
Okay. Well, let me get to the other screen share. Actually, before we go to high side, let me pop onto limiting beliefs because I don't know if we covered all of them. We may have. Yeah, I guess we did. Can only be loved, the limiting beliefs, they can only be loved for what they do, right? So dangerous ground in order to be recognized, must achieve to accomplish. It's always important to look good and win at all costs. Failure feels like death. So yeah, so we did cover all of that. So let me hop over to the good things that the 3 can do. Type 3 imbalance. They are effective leaders. They're enthusiastic and supportive. So what I don't think I mentioned, type 3 is one of the heart types. So they're all heart. So when that fear of failure thing happens for the 3, it's not in here. It's like a dagger through the heart. They're just they lead with this. So when I say enthusiastic and supportive, it's coming from their heart center. Competent, right, where it's not that fake it till you make it, like they actually they're qualified. Action oriented, where they're not just spinning their wheels, and I shouldn't say spinning their wheels, more like spinning plates with a low 3. But the type 3 imbalance is more action. It's like a more centered action. They're inspiring.
Focused,
Focused, yes, very.
focused energy spent.
Yes. Inspiring people. The 3s that I've worked with, as much as they want to win, they also want you to win, which is pretty cool when you're around a healthy 3. And if you're having a low point, they'll pull you up, and they'll get you into that. You can do it. They're great coaches. And they bring the momentum to the relationship. So a healthy 3 can call the pace in the best ways. So yeah, so when you're confronting a narcissist, what do we want to pull out of this first?
Well, so a lot of these things are really going to help them, right? But also noticing when, if you're a type 3 imbalance and all of a sudden you find yourself not being enthusiastic and supportive, or you find yourself really struggling to inspire anybody, where am I losing my energy? Who's tapped into that? Who's sucking it out?
Yeah.
If it's all going to one person, right? Because I can see that narcissist needing all of that enthusiasm and support and all of that inspiration. And I can also see that narcissist being threatened by the 3 giving that energy to other people. When the energy someone has in balance is unlimited. It's not, you can only give it to me, the narcissist. It's how cool you're doing this for everybody.
Right. Yeah.
I'm benefiting too. But the narcissist isn't going to see that because
Right.
they are so much more. What about me? What about me?
What
What
about
about
me?
me? Which, in that type 3, though, what about me? What about me? How am I doing? I can see that just being a crazy spiral with them, right?
Yeah, they can get pulled into a hamster wheel, I think, better than most of the types. And I think it's that they want to succeed.
Yeah.
So I'll catch up to you. We'll do it. We can, the way they're such great coaches for other people, right? They can be deceived. by a narcissist and get tricked into their higher qualities becoming an opportunity for them for the higher quality to actually work against them and become a place where they can lose their energy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because those higher qualities would be very attractive to a narcissist. And they're going to work at getting it.
Yeah.
So if you're that, and that's what attracts people to you, and all of a sudden you're not that anymore. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the staying connected to your leadership abilities and being action oriented, calling the pace to me is what that feels like. Walking into the room and knowing that you're dictating how things work, how they move, how they feel. I'd hold on to that. And if you feel that you're losing it, like, it's a red flag. But if you know you're in an encounter with a narcissist, I'd like walk in, like your mental speak before you go into something. I'd hold on to those two things. I'm in charge. I'm an effective, qualified, capable, competent leader. And I can call the pace in this interaction.
And that inspiring ability that they have, give yourself some of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Turn some of that to yourself. Be your
Yeah.
own biggest cheerleader. Inspire yourself.
Yeah.
Recognize your strengths.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Do for you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let me stop the screen share. So a couple of things, and I'm going to bring up, I have some notes here in front of me as well. Those slides are from the course that I have coming up on the Enneagram. But so actually, let me bring this up first so you can see it. It probably makes more sense to see it first. And we have the map of the Enneagram. Okay. So our threes, what we call disintegration in a stressful state, will go across the map to the 9. And when they want to attain something and succeed at something, they'll go over to the 6. So let's look at what the 3 going to 9 looks like. So the 9's the peacemaker. They want peace at all costs. All right. In order to achieve peace, they merge, they connect with you, they figure out what you want. They're very non-confrontational, and if they figure out what they want, there won't be confrontation, and that means there'll be peace. They're really super nice people. Okay. But when the 3 goes there, it's almost like they're starting to give up. Like they're surrendering the stake that they have in the situation. So when a 3 starts to merge, well, first of all, when you merge with a narcissist, I don't care who you are, that's not smart. 9s will also narcotize. They kind of just disconnect. Whatever helps them do that. Could be TV, could be alcohol, could be food, could be anything that just kind of makes them go to a different place and check out. All right. So when 3s start to do that, that's them going to the low side of, not, I shouldn't say, well, it is the low side of 9, but going to their stress type in the 9. Sloth and laziness are associated with the low 9. And again, that desire for peace at all costs, which sounds great, but not when you're giving up your soul to somebody who wants everything you have to give. So you're nodding your head there, Julie. So tell me.
They want everything you have to give and then some.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And I think that probably for a 3, when they get to that place where they're doing the peace at all costs and the lazy part, they don't know who they are anymore.
Yeah.
because that is just not them. It is so
Mhm.
opposite of who they are
Yeah.
that, again, good good thing to watch out for,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
you are now not, again, authentic. You are not being who you know yourself to be
Right.
because what you gave up because of the it got too hard, the peace thing, what I don't want to admit
Yeah.
failure,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
going there is not failing in that relationship,
Exactly. Yeah.
but it's failing yourself.
Yep. Yep. And putting yourself, I think, at greater risk too.
Heck yeah.
Because it's literally the three is that performer, right? So they go from being on stage, and you can be on stage in a healthy way, right? So you're on stage, and it's all of a sudden, yeah, this is probably not worth it, and this might end up being the worst show ever. So how about I just exit stage left, and I'm gonna go have a beer, and whoever wants to get on stage, knock yourself out. I'm done. That's so not three. I mean, that's like not the core of who three is. So when they're going there, yeah, they're um they're letting the air out of their own tires, so to speak. And then, man, isn't that a field day for the narcissist, right? You got a 9 in their lowest expression coming from your 3.
A 9 in their lowest expression who is a 3.
Yeah,
Wow. It just the opportunities for the narcissist are endless there, right?
yeah,
Because you're not even being who you are. You
yeah,
used to be so much more
yeah. What
productive,
happened to you?
and what happened to you?
Yeah.
Because it's not me sucking your energy dry. It's
Yeah.
you. Stop trying hard enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about you now?
Mm, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty creepy. And then if you can imagine what's doing to the 3 and to their heart center, yeah, it's dangerous ground. I think the 3, if they're self-aware, they're one of the types that can probably step into this and handle it. But if they're not self-aware,
Mhm.
it's concerning. It's
Yeah.
it's really concerning. So so I want to show let's go back to that same image. Okay. So the 3 can also go over to the 6 when they want to attain something, when they want to achieve something. And this is the opposite of being in stress. But again, and I've talked about this before, I'm of the belief that we can go to the high or the low side of anything. Excuse me. Sorry. As long as we have awareness. We can go to the high side of either the stress or the security type. But in this case, it would be what would benefit the 3 would be using the 6 in attainment, which is a natural movement for the 3 to go to that 6. And what the best part of the 6 in this experience for the 3 is that, well, the journey of the 6 is a journey of faith, right? So a high 6 has strong faith. They have great instincts and they trust those instincts. And they're also excellent judges of character. And that's pretty much immediate. So yeah, so let's talk about what that can mean for a 3 who is struggling with a narcissist.
Go to your 6. Go to your 6.
Yeah, yeah,
And a
yeah.
lot of these places I see where going to your head 1, right?
Mhm.
Going to the place where you can get into your head
Yeah,
is better than staying in the
in the
heart place
heart.
when you're trapped there.
Mhm.
That could be so, so painful and such an opportunity for someone to manipulate you
Yeah, that's right. To me, the heart is right where the narcissist wants to strike the arrow, right? So
every time.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, using that, trusting those instincts, staying connected to the instincts. And few types on the Enneagram, I think, are as good at judging character. So if you get that vibe You know, trust it because you have access to that as a 3. It's almost, I'm going to say it's almost like in your Enneagram DNA, you know, if there were such a thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so trust it. And it's the one thing I would say the narcissist probably doesn't want you to do is trust your instincts. They want to disable them, I would
Yep.
think.
Yep. They want you to
So,
stay in the heart place. They want you to stay in the
mm,
sympathy place, the
yeah,
help place.
yeah,
And if you're in your head place going,
yeah,
that's not that's
yeah,
not going to work for the narcissist.
yeah. So what might happen in that instance? What might that look like? So you've just gone to your headspace as a 3, you've gone into the 6, which is,
Mhm.
didn't say that, but we implied it. It's in the head center. Um, so you've stepped out of your heart center. You've changed the pace of things a little bit. You're aware of who you are. You know that what you do is not who you are, that you also have value beyond the doing, right? You've got a good sense of your 3, and you just went into your 6 and you connected with your instincts, you're trusting them, and the narcissist doesn't like it.
Not so much.
Yeah. So how's it gonna play back now for the 3?
How is the narcissist going to respond?
Yeah, is
They're likely
there
going to try to get you back to your heart place,
okay.
right?
And how
Because
would they do it?
that's where they um
Is that kind of like you're not
it's
who you
so
used to
not
be?
like you to be
Okay.
thinking about this.
Yeah.
It's so not like you to not be trusting your heart. You used to
Oh,
be so helpful.
oh shoot, that would be awful.
You used to I felt like you really cared about me, and now you don't care about you never did.
Yeah. Yep.
There's the
Yep.
hook.
Yep. Unless that's absolutely the hook. And that could, man, I could see, I mean, I don't have any 3 energy available in my Enneagram, but I could see how that could gut a 3. Out of the 3s that I work with, that could, like, if something's gonna just do that head screw again, that would be it. If they had the wherewithal to recognize, oh, this is what's happening. Yeah, we're not doing that. I'm trusting my gut. I'm going with my instincts. I know who I am. I know what this is. And then to get reeled back in like that, that could really be icky.
Uh-huh. I can
Yeah.
see where that could keep that cycle
Cycle
going
going.
and going and
Mm-hmm.
going. And
Yeah.
I do think that that is one where you're gonna need outside help on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that's one you can easily do on your own
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the 3, their core is the heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And
it's
wanting to win and succeed. And it's like the bait is always there.
yes, but I also want everybody else to succeed and I want to inspire and be a cheerleader. So
And I want my relationship to succeed. Right. So
uh,
if this is a relationship that, you know, romantic relationship, my God, there's like a powder keg. Yeah.
yeah. So I had a professor in grad school who said, I said, you got to help me. Like, I'm a narcissist magnet. What's going on? And he had said to me, what's the heart of a narcissist, Julie? Because it's a teachable moment, of course, right?
Mhm.
The heart of a narcissist is a wounded child.
Yeah.
So if you want to get into your 6th place and be in your headspace and analyze it and figure out how you can adjust to this relationship with this
Mhm.
narcissist, go, what is the core of this person? Is the core of this person the wounded child? Because if it is, as much as I want to help, I know I'm not capable.
Yeah.
They have to help themselves. No
Yeah.
one can fix that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so maybe that's a helpful nugget for some people, especially
Mhm.
people who are coming from that heart space
Yeah.
is those narcissists are wounded children inside.
Mhm.
And if you
Mhm.
find someone who your gut says, this is a wounded child, I need to do anything and everything I can, that should be your alarm bell for, whoa,
Yeah.
this isn't mine to fix.
Mhm.
And sorry, 3, you're not capable of fixing
Yeah.
this,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And so I think that, that's some work that the 3 can do too is going, well, what can I do? What really is in my realm? what really does qualify as success or failure or
Mhm.
action. And sometimes the best action is self-preservation.
Yeah. 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 Um, the other thing I'm wondering about is because the 3 wants to win, is stepping back and acknowledging that if you get into this dance with a narcissist, you can't win.
Can't win.
And I'm talking about like healthy winning, healthy success, healthy achievement. If you're looking at succeeding in a relationship, and this is really what's going on time over, and you're on that hamster wheel time over and time again, you can't win. And if winning, I shouldn't say winning, achieving and success, healthy success in this relationship is a goal, which it would be for the healthy 3. Stepping aside is absolutely self-preservation. Yeah. Yeah. And knowing that sometimes it's to your benefit to lose because you're not really losing.
Uh-huh. Because the person who walks away has the power in that,
Hmm.
right? And so maybe that too
Yeah.
is helpful.
Yeah.
Sometimes walking away or ending, not taking the bait keeps you in control,
Yeah.
you in power.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
relationship like that,
Hmm. Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Something else I want to mention about the 6. The 6, one of the names for the 6 is the loyal skeptic. And I skirted around using the name of the 6 um, because of the danger of being loyal to a narcissist. And obviously that's something you want to avoid when you are a 3 going to your 6. Your loyalty has to be to you. But the skeptic in the 6 is going to serve you.
mhm,
So it's also important to point out that you have that again in your Enneagram map, in your wiring. You have that ability to see it and raise that eyebrow and know that you're right in what you see. Yeah. So, all
mm.
righty. Well, so anything that you would want to add, Julie?
I don't think so. I think self-awareness is always important, but I see that like in this particular case, I think that's really huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Checking in with yourself and
Yeah.
how am I
Slowing
feeling?
down.
Am I being me? Do I have energy? What's going
Hmm.
on here? Am I
Yeah.
isolated? Um,
Hmm.
those are
Yeah.
warning signs to pay attention to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All righty. So thank you, Julie. And thank you, everyone, for being here. If you would like to work with Julie, again, windhorsecounseling.com. That'll all be in the show notes. If you'd like to work with me, mariamandarino.com. You can find out more about what I offer there. And the scheduling system is now up, so you can schedule online. I do free discovery call as well if you're interested in seeing if we would be a good fit to work together. And again, thanks for being here. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, hit that little alarm bell so you'll get the notifications about upcoming episodes. All right. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you again soon.